Hello everyone, this is episode 1 of Rebuilding Newcrest. I'm going to see if I can try and totally rebuild Newcrest. I know a lot of other YouTubers have done this challenge before, but you see they are a lot better than I am. So I thought I'd give my own spin on it, see if I can do it, and you can join me in the journey. So for this one, I am building on one of the smaller lots at the edge of Newcrest, and my inspiration for this build was to create a kind of Mews house. Now, if you don't know what a Mews house is, there's a lot of them in London, and they're essentially these cute little two-storey houses which are usually located behind a row of other houses. And you can access them by like a little a gate or a very small driveway. I think they were built before cars were common, so they were mainly like stables and stuff originally. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. However, I couldn't quite do it because I think I would have had to have used a lot of debug items in order to get the main buildings out front, because you see I don't like building empty buildings very much. I find it kind of boring because when you actually go and play in them, they're really annoying to play in. So I kind of took that idea anyway and turned it into this. So this is kind of like a little Mews house, same sort of style, with a little bit of a spin on it. I've got a little balcony there, and it's kind of got a bit of a French influence as well. So, and I wanted to make it quite colourful, so I chose a pink one. I used to live in Notting Hill in London, and there are a lot of colourful houses there, all very cute. So I kind of wanted to emanate one of those. I'm just doing a bit of landscaping here. I don't mind landscaping. I prefer landscaping to decorating inside of the house. You see, I could build floor plans all day long to my heart's content. When it comes to finishing, I don't mind it, but it's not my favourite thing to do. So these windows are from the Seasons pack, I believe. I've used a few different packs in this. You'll see a bit later on. I am quite obsessed with those eco lifestyle beds, so I'll show you those in a bit. So as I said, this is a two-storey Mews house, a very small little landing there upstairs because we're trying to make the most of all the space that we have. This is probably and I'm not going to lie, about the 4th or 5th time I've built this house. I had a lot of troubles trying to build it and then export the files. Some of the times the screen recording would just completely fail on me. Other times I would get the screen recording, but the quality of it was absolutely shocking. So this is a lot of work and it doesn't seem like it. But yeah, so this is probably about the 4th or 5th time I've built this build. I like this little alcove that I've made at the front of the house. I love these paintings. I can't remember which pack these paintings are from, but they're really nice. They're like probably I think they're the best paintings in the game. And there's a lot of options with them as well, depending on the colour scheme you're kind of going for. Very modern, abstract kind of art. And this sofa, as I said, when I was building this lot beforehand, I spent ages trying to pick a sofa that would match. And this is the one that I decided on. I don't like it. I don't like this sofa at all. I don't like the small love seats greatly in The Sims, but this one went with the aesthetic. But it is from Get to Work, I think. because I think it's a hospital couch. So not very fitting for a cute little house, but you know, the colour scheme works. And this plant as well, oh, I've started to use this plant all the time. In every one of my builds you'll see this plant. I absolutely love it. It's from Jungle Adventure. I just think it's the perfect size. It doesn't clip as much as other ones do. It's not as, you know, the leaves aren't massively wide or long on it, so it doesn't often clip through the walls, which is great. But yeah, I really like that plant as well. So I kind of went with a little bit of a red tinge to that room. China cabinets. Now I wish these were a little bit easier to find in the Sims, because I kind of almost always just stumble across them, and then when I see one I'm like, oh yeah, I should really use some sort of like cabinet or something in my dining rooms. But as I say, you know, if they were a little bit easy to find, like if they had their own section, or were in the sideboard kind of table section and stuff, I think I'd use them a bit more. But as I said, I just stumble across them usually. Decided to go with a blue theme for this room. I do this quite a lot, and I actually think it's a bit of a disservice, because as I said, I don't mind decorating if I've got like a very clear image of what I'm trying to do, but most of the time I just end up picking a colour and kind of just going with it. So as you can see in this one, the living room's a bit red, the dining room's a bit blue, and the kitchen is a kind of like brown and silver. So that's what we've got, and that's what you're going to get, because that's how I play The Sims. Another thing I use all the time now is the oven and fridge from Jungle Adventure. It is the most lovely looking fridge. It's kind of like those Smeg fridges, which I wish I had, but they're so expensive. But yeah, I think the swatches on it are really good. It just fits in so well with nearly every kind of kitchen that you build. And it's just a lot better than those boring beige colour base game fridges, which are just little breakfast bar there. I really like that coffee wall display. And that cake stand. Oh, I love a cake. Oh, love a cake. The kitchen's quite big in this house. It wouldn't be this big in a normal kind of Mews house unless it had some sort of extension on it. So this is why I'm kind of changing it around, making a kind of, you know, laundry section as well. Because most houses in the UK, unless you have a quite large house and it's got a utility room off the kitchen, most of the time everyone's got a washing machine and dryer in their kitchen, kind of built into the kitchen units. So other people watching this from around the world might think, why is there a washer and dryer in the kitchen? But this is quite normal where I'm from. Moving upstairs, had to change the layout upstairs a little bit, because from experience I realised that I wouldn't be able to fit a double bed in one of the bedrooms, because it would fill up the entire room and your Sims wouldn't be able to get around it. I would say kitchens and bathrooms are my favourite things to furnish. Bedrooms I despise, because they all end up looking the same, and I always end up using the same things: a bed, a side table, just a little message from my friend there. A bed, a side table, a dresser, you know, and a light and a plant, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see again, I've kind of gone with a green colour in this one. I really like the calendars, the very few that we've got, especially this one with the animals on from Cats and Dogs. I just wish there was a few more. Maybe like a nature calendar, unless I've missed it. A seasonal calendar. That would be cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be nice if there was some sort of seasonal calendar, and then when you're playing and the seasons change, you can see your Sims changing the dates on the calendar, and it moves from like autumn to winter. I think that would be quite nice. Yeah, I didn't really know what to put in these kind of little nooks in the corner, so when in doubt, stick a plant in there. That's my motto. When in doubt, furnish with plants. Another blue colour scheme in this room. See, in real life, I think I'm quite good at furnishing, or knowing what looks good in a house, but in The Sims, poof, nightmare sometimes. This light is base game, and I only remembered about it a few months ago, and now I use it all the time. It is so nice. Like, there's one swatch, this black and white swatch, which I don't know. It's kind of got like the you know, like a Japanesey kind of feel to it. So I think it'll look great when we're playing in Snowyscape, which comes out soon. But the other swatches are shocking. Like, you can see it there on the screen now, just to the left of all the things. They're just horrible. They look so old and like falling to pieces. But that black and white swatch, yes. And I do this a lot as well. Rather than putting full railings on stairs, because you see sometimes when you've got just like a one tile stairway like that, if you put a kind of railing on it, it just looks too clunky and not really natural. So that's why I like to just use a fence sometimes, and you know, make it its own little porch area, even though it's so small. A bit more landscaping and finishing outside. I do quite like playing with plants and stuff outside. In my next build, I use a lot of debug items outside. But in this one, I don't think that there might be a little. No, I don't think there's any debug in this one. I think this is all just pack content. And then we're going to do a driveway for the car. Now, there are so many good cars. I mean, not so many good cars. There are a few more cars which are better in the debug options, that you can size up and made to look like real cars. But we are stuck with 2 or 3 in this. I think it's 2 cars and a Jeep. But that's what you got. And then a little bit of flowers on the outside. Make it look really nice and pretty. I think I should have changed the tiling on the roof. That was a mistake. Sorry guys. It looks rubbish. But anyway. I like the putting vines and ivy and stuff on the outside. It makes the house look a bit more alive and lived in, rather than just an empty shell. few more ivy, and then I think I'm just going to finish off with some bricks on the oh yeah, don't forget the curtains, and yeah, some bricks which match the stairs there on the balconies. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and see you next time.